Hi, I'm Lou Manfredini, and I'm here to tell you about an exciting new project I'm going to be part of.
The idea for the show actually came from some conversations that Frank DeGioia, my co-executive producer, and Lou Manfredini, my other co-executive producer, were having about translating his construction and building expertise. And in early 2006, we were given the green light for a 13-episode order. Now the show is on over 70% of the country, and with over 150 episodes.
Everyone, for the most part, that works on the show has been on it since the start, and I think that's a rarity in this business. You know, we've all put our hearts and our souls into making the show work.
I said it then, and it proved true. I said, this is a show that has legs, and now 10 years later, it's still on the air. And these guys are still making great shows.
I like the fact that I get to learn new stuff, meet new people, businessmen, craftsmen, most honorable people, and I love my job because of that.
Hold on. Okay, we're rolling. When I first started working on HouseSmarts, it was season 1. I was shooting, but I was also doing sound. The original DP, Bob Porcher, he and I traveled all over the place just trying to scatter and get stuff. We'd be getting calls from posts saying,
"Where are you now? Get me a shot of somebody hammering a nail."
So it was pretty chaotic. But yeah, so my roles kind of developed along with the show.
I think what's really nice about HouseSmarts is that it's a news magazine format show. It's the content that we're able to fit into a half an hour. It has to be current because we're cutting it in that news, style.
We have on average anywhere between 6 to 7 stories within a half-hour episode. It gives us the opportunity to have at least one thing that a viewer can take away and maybe put into practical application.
Not too many people actually know this about Lou, but he's very much a diva on set. He shows up late, he yells at the interns. It's been a 10-year stretch of misery.
He is, as he would likes to remind us, not just a pretty face.
He's all right looking, but let's face it, he's no Channing Tatum.
Honestly, Margo, I absolutely adore working with Lou Manfredini.
Lou is as genuine as you get, and he really takes pride in helping other people.
He really does walk the walk and talk the talk.
Cares about the quality of what we put out deeply, is always full of good ideas, and I like him.
We have the skinny on exactly what you need to know.
I really appreciate all the different flavors that the correspondents have brought over the years, not only connecting with the interview subjects, but connecting with our audience, some of whom have actually been with us since day one.
Yeah, you want to look good when you're working in the garden, and we got a lot of work done today. We have so much fun shooting the feature segments and the stories for HouseSmarts.
And that accent, oh man, that thick Chicago accent.
Right through you.
Yeah, right through you.
And I have to say, I really enjoy when the guys make fun of my Chicago accent, which I don't think I have.
Andre's the best. She's the queen of Chicago. Love you, Andre.
Mike Ayala has been with us from the early days.
Mike-isms have become something that we pay attention to all the time on the set.
I don't want to sway you, but I've become a believer. Everybody in the food.
Rick Ganji, some of our announcers that we've worked with over the years.
We did a feature with Glassroots, and they were teaching kids glassblowing. And you would never think like glassblowing has a career to it, but then the more we delved into the project, we saw that, oh, these kids are getting jobs that are very competitive.
We also interviewed 2 of the family members of the Newtown tragedy, Carlos Soto and a woman named Scarlett Lewis, and they were so generous and so loving in the support of having a good thing come out of the terrible thing that happened to them. So that's got to be my number 1.
Ellie, for doing the Ace makeover, that one really sticks in my head and heart because her attitude, her energy, her lust for life was so infectious.
The other feature that always kind of stands out for me is the bugs feature that we did with Andrea years ago because it was just disgusting. We did a good job of educating people, and so I always hope people learn something from what we do.
We put together a shed, like a plastic do-it-yourself shed.
Regan and I ended up building the shed together as we shot it.
All day. It took all day to put it together.
Got everything completed. It was all great.
And so then at the end of the day, the homeowner came to us and said,
That looks great, I love it, and I want it over there, down this giant lawn that we had to move this shed that was already put together.
so we loaded it onto PVC pipes and rolled it Egyptian style.
How they moved the pyramids, and we got it done.
These guys had worked together for years before this show was even on the drawing board. They were a great, great crew.
It just amazes me time and time again how coherent our team is. I work with some incredible people.
Oftentimes what will happen is when we go into story development is I will think about what's happening in my life or someone else's life who's working on the show, because that's really where the ideas come from. They come from real life.
Everything that happens on this show is doable in your own home.
It's a very realistic show. It's reality television that is based in reality.